6 p.m. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Kanuz Ashraf. First, the headlines. Prime Minister has left for Davos to represent Pakistan in the annual meeting of the World Economic Forum in Switzerland. Shahid Khaqan Abbasi says Afghan conflict can be resolved through dialogue. Interior Minister says Pakistan is a peaceful country. However, our quest for peace must not be mistaken as a sign of weakness. Kashmiris will observe Indian Republic Day as Black Day on Friday in protest against New Delhi's continued denial of Kashmiris' right to self-determination. France has underlined its firm commitment to the 2015 accord signed over Iran nuclear deal. Pakistan will play against South Africa in the quarterfinals of Under-19 Cricket World Cup at Christchurch, New Zealand tomorrow. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Shahid Khaqan Abbasi has left for Davos to represent Pakistan in the annual meeting of the World Economic Forum in Switzerland. The Prime Minister will participate in a number of important events and hold bilateral meetings with world leaders and chairpersons and CEOs of 15 leading multinational organizations from the US, Europe, China, and Japan. The Prime Minister will interact with heads of states and governments in a special session of the informal group of World Economic Leaders. He will also participate in a WEF session titled The Belt and Road Impact, being held tomorrow. The Prime Minister will interact with major international media outlets including Wall Street Journal and FT Group, The Washington Post, CNN, and the Reuters. Prime Minister Shahid Khaqan Abbasi has categorically stated that there is no question of dissolving the National Assembly prematurely under any pressure, and general elections would be held in July this year. Talking to a delegation of media persons in Islamabad today, he said people have given mandate to PMLN and the Assembly would not be dissolved even a second before the due time. He, however, said that he can give advice in this regard if asked by the party. To a question, he said there is continued engagement with the United States, including track to diplomacy. He said Pakistan has made it repeatedly clear that there is no room for do more. Shahid Khaqan Abbasi said Pakistan is engaged in the war against terror for its own security and interests. He said the Afghan conflict can be resolved through dialogue. The Prime Minister said there can be no normalization of relations between Pakistan and India without resolution of the Kashmir dispute. Exporters have expressed their resolve to boost country's textile exports beyond $40 billion in next 5 years due to support being given by the government. The resolve was made by a delegation of Pakistan Textile Exporters Association during their meeting with Prime Minister Shahid Khaqan Abbasi in Islamabad today. Interior Minister Ehsan Iqbal says Pakistan is a peaceful country and we believe in cordial relations with our neighboring countries. Addressing the passing out ceremony of counter-terrorism force in Islamabad today, he said our quest for peace must not be mistaken as a sign of weakness. He said we will not allow anyone to use our soil for terrorism, and same we expect from others. Ehsan Iqbal said the United States should avoid leveling baseless allegations against Pakistan and join Islamabad for respectful repatriation of Afghan refugees. Chief of Army Staff General Qamar Javed Bajwa inaugurated Army Institute of Military History at General Headquarters Rawalpindi today. A large number of senior serving and retired military officers attended the ceremony. Army Institute of Military History has been established to record, archive, preserve, and compile the history of Pakistan Army and act as center of excellence for study of military history in the country. International Monetary Fund has said that Pakistan has achieved a growth rate of 5.3% during fiscal year 2016-17, the highest in a decade. In its report submitted in the opening session of World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland today, the IMF said growth rate in Pakistan is expected to pick up in 2018 and 2019. It said that with the target of 2017-18 set at 6%, and it is believed that the economy would be able to continue its growth. This is Radio Pakistan. Speaker National Assembly Sardar Ayaz Sadiq has said that China-Pakistan Economic Corridor project will not only strengthen economy of the two countries but the whole region. He was talking to Chinese ambassador to Pakistan, Yao Ching, who called on him in Islamabad today. During the meeting, matters related to bilateral interest were discussed. The Speaker National Assembly said Pakistan values its strong ties with China, which are cemented in an eternal bond of friendship. Chinese ambassador to Pakistan, Yao Ching, also called on Commerce Minister Pervez Malik in Islamabad. Later talking to newsmen, the Commerce Minister said both sides discussed ways and means to enhance bilateral trade. He said Pakistan will participate in the China International Export Expo being held in November this year in Shanghai. The Chinese ambassador said Pakistan's participation in the Shanghai Expo will be as guest of honor, and his country is ready to import every Pakistani commodity which can compete the international market. In occupied Kashmir, miseries of the people have increased manifold as the Indian troops and police personnel have geared up surprise frisking and checking across the occupied valley ahead of India's Republic Day on Friday. Strict security arrangements have been put in place in and around the cricket stadium at Sonawar, the main venue of this year's Republic Day celebrations in the valley. The personnel of Indian Army, Police and Central Reserve Police Force have laid a siege around the stadium to restrict people's movement. Meanwhile, Kashmiris on both sides of the line of control and across the world will observe Indian Republic Day on Friday as Black Day in protest against India's continued denial of Kashmiris' right to self-determination. Call for the observance of the day has been given by the Joint Resistance Leadership comprising Sayyid Ali Gilani, Mirwais Umar Farooq and Muhammad Yasin Malik. United Arab Emirates has instructed its military not to escalate an ongoing diplomatic crisis with Qatar. Talking to reporters in Abu Dhabi, UAE Air Force Brigadier General Hilal Saeed Al-Qubasi said that our military aircraft will also fly alternative routes over Saudi Arabia to avoid the possibility of interception by Qatari warplanes. France has expressed annoyance that the Trump administration is pressurizing European allies to redesign the Iranian nuclear deal to fit according to Washington needs. Speaking to reporters in Paris today, France Foreign Minister Le Drian said he will underline France's firm commitment to the 2015 accord signed over Iran nuclear deal. Myanmar says it is ready to begin a gradual repatriation of Rohingya refugees from Bangladesh despite a delay announced by Bangladesh. Talking to reporters in Naypyidaw, Myanmar Union Minister Thong Tun said that his country is ready to receive those who will be coming across the border. Turkey says it will take whatever steps it needs for its security. In a statement, Turkish Foreign Minister Mevlut Cavusoglu said that terrorists in Manbij city that are constantly firing provocation shots. If the United States doesn't stop this, we will stop it. Pakistan will take on South Africa in quarterfinals of Under-19 Cricket World Cup at Christchurch, New Zealand tomorrow. And finally, the weather report. Mainly cold and dry weather is expected in most parts of the country during the next 12 hours. However, fog is likely to prevail at a few plain areas of Punjab and Upper Sindh during morning hours. To end the news, headlines once again. Prime Minister has left for Davos to represent Pakistan in the annual meeting of the World Economic Forum in Switzerland. Shahid Haqqan Abbasi says Afghan conflict can be resolved through dialogue. Interior Minister says Pakistan is a peaceful country. However, our quest for peace must not be mistaken as a sign of weakness. Kashmiris will observe Indian Republic Day as Black Day on Friday in protest against New Delhi's continued denial of Kashmiris' right to self-determination. And that is the end of this news bulletin. For more news and analyses, log on to our website, radio.gov.pk, and also watch live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com Radio Pakistan News Official.